say the North will buy into this idea of one term. No, the North will not. Because the civil war in this country has never ended. I don't believe that Northerners who are already aggrieved with a Yoruba president will just shift and embrace the possibility of an Igbo president. There are contradictions in this country that have not been sorted out. We should lay the emphasis on competence, ability. If the Nigerian people are politically educated to a point where they can vote for a competent person, regardless of where it comes from, regardless of his religion, that's when.
Hello, everyone. So when I watch that clip, even though it's a short clip, and so some people might say, okay, there might be context, other things that were said there. When I watch that clip, for me, the first thing that comes out of my mind is that it's Ruben Abati really speaking about the North when he said Nigeria, and is he really speaking about Nigerians, or is he speaking about himself? One of the things for me that I always don't want people to do is to hide under generalization. He's talking about the northern Nigeria will not want an Igbo presidency, seeing what a Yoruba presidency has done. When is the rest of the South supposed to pay for whatever Tinubu has done? Why would the rest of the South, the Igbo presidency, the South people pay for whatever it is that Tinubu has done? Why would even another Yoruba person pay for whatever it is that Tinubu has done? Tinubu has failed. Tinubu is a disastrous failure, and that's what it is, and that should be maintained at that. And then when also Ruben Abati comes out to say that, Nigerians have an Igbo problem. I don't have an Igbo problem. And I know there are a lot of Nigerians who don't have an Igbo problem. If there are Nigerians who have an Igbo problem, those are they having an Igbo problem, not it is. What I want to hear, what I would want to see is to look at someone like Mr. Ruben Abati. People combining their names. Mr. Ruben Abati, and ask him, do you have an Igbo problem? Forget about Nigerians. And I do. And this one thing I want to say, forget about Nigeria, forget about the North, forget about it's about you. What is it? Stop generalizing. Even when I see people, I don't think Nigeria, so I say, no, it's not about Nigeria, it's you. What is it that you want to do? That's all that matters in this case. But let me tell you, by the way, this whole issue of the North, first of all, is not homogeneous. I've always said that. Sometimes when we're talking about the North, we're actually referring to the Northwest. And I can tell you right now, the conversations in the Northwest are ongoing. People are talking about Peter Obi. His messages are getting down there. You see people and you're asking them Peter Obi, they know the name, they know the person, it rings a bell. Malams are discussing him. They are discussing him to his to their students, their pupils, their disciples, and all of that. He's becoming more attractive every day. And most of these people, that people will say, this, that, no, it's no longer like that. It is no longer like that at all. Most of these people hunger, don't send message. They are on social media, they are on TikTok, they're seeing what's happening, they're seeing how far behind they've been left behind, and they are revolting in their own way. I used to say this thing that when Buhari leaves office, they will stone him in the North and stuff like that. The North doesn't like. People were like, this is what is happening right now. Look at when his death was announced. The places where people were doing celebration was actually the northern part of the country. And recently also, I just want to see if only I could see that particular video where someone, there's this thing they do in the northern part of the country. For any event that happens, they do like a calendar. I don't know whether they do it in other parts of the part, like especially in Kano where I grew up. I don't even know that other. So they will do this calendar. So you see the picture of the different pictures of the event. They put it like a photo album, then they'll be selling it. People will be buying. I remember as a much younger person, that was what we'll get the news. We'll not be saying, this happened, whether wedding, whether event, monumental event. And so this man did this whole like almanac, is it calendar or almanac, with the different pictures of the event of former President Muhammadu Buhari's burial, his death, his pictures or whatever, and people are not buying. They are angry. And it was like, he hasn't sold anything. That kind of thing. He hasn't sold He hasn't sold anything. He hasn't this thing that even he that to the Buhari's government was disastrous. It's affecting that he just produced it to be able to, not that he likes him, he produced it to be able to sell, and now people are not even buying because of the strong feelings that people have. So there's a whole lot that is changing in that northern part of the country. It's not the way people are saying it, and people are just taking it on and like, oh, no, it's not. It's a whole ball game. But in the meantime, let me take us to 2022, because the whole issue of this is about the one term that Mr. Peter Obi had written about. I remember I did mention the fact that Mr. Peter Obi had always said he was going to do one term, even in 2022, even during the 2022 primaries campaign and stuff like that. I know personally, I know he has spoken about that privately, and sometimes we've argued the fact that he can't be the one to say. I always wave it off with the hand to say that, okay, no be you go decide. When you are there, people will force you to be there. They will like, no, you know this thing. But he has always said it. And here's a video where 2 years ago, the same Mr. Ruben Abati was talking about this particular, one term. Maybe he has probably forgotten. And this would have been the time for him to have said, look, this man has said this before. I noticed this is not the first time. But to begin to tell us that, because the Tinubu has so much field, and then Tinubu is representative of Yoruba presidency, and because of that, the North will not want an Igbo person, the North will want the North, or whatever that whole thing that Nigeria has an Igbo this thing. Please, I beg, please. If we have this thing, I will always have that conversation. Let's sit down and have a Nigerian conversation and truly ask ourselves, do we want to be together or we don't want to be together? Let regions be allowed to vote their own to say, do they want to say or they don't want to say? And if we're staying, everybody must be equal. No Nigeria must be more Nigeria than any Nigeria. Just take a look at this.
Peter Obi, former Anambra State Governor, declared his intention to run for president in the 2023 general election in Nigeria. The peace-loving, soft-spoken gentleman has visited the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to canvass for support amid challenges of insecurity, inflation, and religious crisis, just to mention a few. During his nationwide delegates campaign tour, the former presidential running mate to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in the 2019 general election stated that he only needs 4 years to fix Nigeria. Obi said he will replace the sharing formula of monthly allocation with a production formula if elected. He further stated that Nigeria has been badly managed over the years and the country is collapsing. In a meeting with PDP delegates in Kaduna State, Peter Obi promises to turn Nigeria into a producing nation.
I don't even know what to say, but I'll just end with the words of Dr. Obi Ezekwesili. What did I just say? Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, who says, integrity is not complete until it's consistent. I mean, if you, and when Mr. Peter Obi says go and verify, he actually means you to actually go and verify.